Hey Cancer, your July tarot reading is ready. I'm Eleanor and welcome to Pink Pearl Tarot. Your main theme for July is the oyster mushroom, regeneration. And then your relationship affirmator is resilience. Sticks and stones may break my bones and unkind words can somehow drain every bit of joy and color from my once rosy life. But nothing can ever permanently damage the real me. I love myself, I cherish myself, and I vow to remember that I'm always camped out in the depths of myself, even when I don't feel like very much of myself. Okay, Cancer. So for July, this is really giving very Five of Cups energy, focusing on what you're actually working with for the sake of moving forward, not so much on what happened or what has fallen away. It reminds me of the layers below your feet. You know how roads are built on top of roads, with the ancient ones way down deep in some cases, or the different layers of soil and rock that formed over, the different environments of the millennia. It's all still there. It's just covered with whatever came after it. So it's also talking about the things that are becoming former in your life, being broken down to nourish or fuel what is coming in, what's coming to life now. So the key thing here is that nothing is ever wasted. What's that one law of physics? The law of conservation of energy, I think. That energy is never created or destroyed, but only transformed. So this is a great time to shed the redundant, the superfluous, the extra, or the dead weight, because you're moving into a time of rapid growth and there's old energy that needs to be converted into new energy, or it's just going to like hold you down or constrict you. And with this resilience card, this could very much be referring to aspects of yourself, your shadow, or your ego as well, not just like external things. So for what you're coming into the month with, an asset, if you will, that's the first thing I've asked, since we're kind of talking about working with what you got, working with what remains. You have the Ace of Wind, and this is the Ace of Swords. It says creativity, love, origin. So you've had some sort of realization or light bulb moment that is sparking this transformation. It's like a catalyzing truth. It's as though you've recently gained fresh clarity on a certain situation in your life, and it's like you can't unknow it. There's something that you've decided wholeheartedly that you want to make real, that you want to create, or maybe that you want to achieve or be. So since what I was kind of trying to get at with this question was like what remains after a previous energy has run its course, like what you could consider your new square one, an ace is spot freaking on as an answer, because when a cycle ends, a new one begins, and this could represent the lesson that the previous cycle taught you. And so you're armed with keen insight and fresh actionable wisdom for what's coming next in your life. So for where you will see the most change, they're so close together, I don't want to knock making a mess out of my stuff. You have the Magician. Manifest potential alignment. So the first thing I heard just now is it's happening. It's happening. It's finally happening. Not only do you have intention, but you have the know-how, the grit, the grace, and the materials to bring it to fruition. Like, you don't even really need this reading. You know what you're doing. The change is that you've found your power and you've claimed it, and you're now wielding it, or at least learning how. So for what will be your biggest obstacle, you have the Star. Purpose, inspiration, healing. That's kind of weird to pop up as an obstacle, actually, because it's generally a message directly from above that you will be okay, and it comes when you need it the most. But the shadow to that would be waiting for rescue, waiting for a sign, wishful thinking, or just leaving too much up to divine intervention, like absolution of responsibility. So these first two cards they're very action oriented. They've placed you in the driver's seat and they're handing you a key. So as an obstacle, there could be a degree of passivity in a time that requires you to be in control, or at least of everything that you can control, obviously. And honestly, I'm hearing them say, like, don't pray about it, be about it. The situation doesn't need thoughts and prayers, it needs real change. Okay, so the best part, what is the best part about July for Cancer? I knew it. I knew I was going to bump it. Why do I even try? You have the Knight of Fire, the Knight of Wands. It says motivation, adventure, high energy. Well, so you should have no trouble with that because there is a fire under your ass for sure. You've got courage, you've got confidence, you've got energy, you've got determination. I wouldn't want to stand in your way for anything. I feel like saying that this can come with a feeling, though, of invincibility. So this energy, while amazing, probably needs to be balanced in some way. Hopefully by that Ace of Wind, a sharp mental state. So if you stay focused, you should be very agile and able to pivot and handle all of the twists and turns and bumps in the road. No problem. No problem for you. Okay, so for your influence and impact on others, you have the Nine of Fire, the Nine of Wands, resilience, persistence, stamina. Well, that really follows that really well. So, wait, resilience. It says resilience there. You have that twice, so that's a little bit of a confirmation. So, anyway, when those around you are ready to give up, they'll be finding their second wind by looking to you. You'll be the reason that someone doesn't give up in July. And there's something here about setting the bar too. Like someone else is growing because they're trying to keep up with you. So that's very cool energy. Okay, so for what opportunities you should be looking for, you have the Page of Wind, the Page of Swords, ideas, curiosity, communication. So with that Ace of Wind, you have an idea, and this is talking about opportunities to communicate that idea. So to find out what other people know, to research, to fine-tune it, to find the flaws or the holes in it, to bounce it off others, to expand it. They're pointing towards opportunities to start conversations and ask questions. You'll probably get the most out of this exploration if you approach it with an open mind and teachability, because what you have is the initial insight, but it's still an ace. It's still just in its, beginning form. It has so much growth potential, and that's only possible if the mind is absorbent, right? So honestly, sometimes it is just fascinating and exciting to be the person in the room that knows the least. So for where you will find the most support, you have the Nine of Wind, the Nine of Swords, anxiety, guilt, and fear. That is interesting. But, okay, I see that's why the Star is the obstacle. See, on the surface, one would expect that these would be traded, that they would come in the opposite of how they did. But they're saying that you'd be better served by keeping it real and letting the alarms that go off in your head actually inform you and mobilize you. The Star would be finding ways to turn them off and self-soothe without addressing the real issues that need to be faced and dealt with. They're saying that, like, just hoping everything will be okay isn't actually the best plan right now. So, like, if something is keeping you up at night, that's for a reason. And if you can't sleep anyway, maybe channel that into a strategy or a solution. And I can tell you firsthand, I swear it will help ease your mind to be doing what you can more so than crossing your fingers. So for your self-care directive, you have the Eight of Fire, Eight of Wands, power, speed, intensity. You have all of that here already too. So it's action, it's movement, it's charging forward. This month already has incredible momentum for you to harness towards your evolution. So this is not a timeout month. Sometimes the cards say you're supposed to rest and relax and chill out. This is not that time. This can talk about it can talk about exercise in particular when it comes to self-care, like if I wanted to make it really concrete, but basically it's talking about flow. So whether you want to interpret that as energy flow, chi flow, blood flow, flow state. This kind of started out with talking about like recycling of energy, which is like, feels kind of like a steady loop feel to it, but now it feels more like an upward spiral, like a coiling, a crescendo, a building of velocity, like a snowball rolling downhill that grows in power as it grows in size and gains speed and momentum as it goes rolling down the hill. Anyway, I don't know science, but It's like not just resewing a new dress out of the same old material, but adding and adding and adding and adding. It's talking about getting pumped. So with this, finally, I would just say play your favorite montage music in the car, as you walk, as you run. Just keep it moving, keep going. So this is an amazing, awesome month for you, Cancer. Much love, and I'll talk to you next month. Thank you.